I refer to this as maybe the most dangerous persuasion skill there is. Any idea that you think came from your own mind, you have no ability to resist it. This is how social media starts roping you in. This is how politics starts roping you in. And what I'm 10-second brief is, I'm going to put a Lego right here on the table in front of you. And I'm going to put another Lego right here on the table in front of you. And I'm just going to keep having the conversation to where eventually your brain is going to be like, oh, I bet those things go together. So the idea came from you. So I'm going to give you one piece of information and another piece of information, but I will never put them together for you. And the reason is that any idea that you think came from your own mind, you have no ability to resist it. So all I have to do is make you have an idea. If you can do this in a courtroom, it will be the biggest unfair advantage you'll ever have in a legal standing, because it'll win lots of trials. The way that, like, if there's a formula on how to use this is, here's a piece of information here, and it's a piece of information that you will absolutely agree with, that makes sense to you, and another piece of information that makes sense to you. It has to be two things that make sense to your brain, because it's like you're not going to experiment with something that you're not familiar with. So two pieces of familiar information close enough together where the brain is going to say, oh, you know what I can do? I'm going to put those two things together. So, and the biggest mistake that people make with language is language should be resonating and not directing. If you want to speak well, you're not directing people to think certain things or to feel certain things. It should resonate with what they're already feeling and then start guiding them. So you're getting into their river, so to speak, and flowing with that first. Once I shift your perception, then I change the C in this model. And the C is context. And context is the most important thing in the world. And nobody's talking about it. Probably everyone watching this or listening to this right now is going to get naked today. They'll get in a shower, they'll get in a bath, whatever it is. But almost everybody's going to get naked. We're probably not going to do it in the middle of an office building, like at work. Context dictates what behavior is permissible. So throughout the conversation, what you're really doing is you're not getting them to make an agreement about how they're going to act. You're getting them to make an agreement about who they are as a human being. Mm-hmm. So the moment you can get them to covertly make an I am statement in their head, you're hacking your way into that person's identity. So like, let's say you said that, they nodded, and then maybe a few minutes later, you're like, I got a confession to make. I had social anxiety growing up. How did you get this open about everything? Have you always been this way, or was this through some kind of like leadership training or something like that you went to? And the moment you answer that question, I've got you to commit. Now you're fully committed to being wide open for the rest of the conversation. Micro compliance, and you don't realize that you're going through this massive amount of compliance. So like you go through a doctor's physical and they go through like this 90-point checklist. They've made you do 50 things, and then they recommend a weird drug or they recommend you get on some other drug. Take some time to think about it, because our brain is hardwired for these micro compliances. So I say this to say that if you're going through any of these things, and you're trying to change your beliefs or you're trying to change something in your body, use what works for brainwashing and figure out a way that you can get micro compliance with your own goals on a very regular basis. Small little wins, so your brain has that, just like hypnosis, just like cult recruiting, just like brainwashing. Small little things at the very beginning.